Brian Tenningfeld here with Harvest Tec. Wanted to go over some of the features, benefits, setup of the HayBoss 300 Series Applicator. Some of the new features that we're offering on the automatic applicator, and just some basic diagnosis of problems we occasionally see. So one of the new features on the 300 series is the ability, now we are communicating utilizing an iPad as a display. All 300 series do not include any monitors. The operator can utilize his own iPad or iPad mini as the display. And what we recommend for guys is to understand the newer style iPads, the ones with a lightning plug, and you can validate that by the smaller plugs on the tablets. So any ones with the newer style plugs you can utilize for as your display. The older style wide plugs are not compatible with our system. So basic setup, we got the tractor battery, kind of display purposes here, but all kits come with all required harnesses. You're going to have your tractor battery harness, which you can kind of see we've got wired up here for display purposes, and then you'll see that the tractor battery harness is going to come back to the drawbar and the baler. Quick disconnect, and then you're also going to have a Y that comes up, a Y communication harness, where we're going to sit in the cab of the tractor with our communication module. Important to note, orange key power wire on this communication module has to be wired into tractor key batteries, tractor key source. So again, we've got that kind of wired up here for display, and then this module again going to sit in the cab of the tractor. It's going to have an indicating light flashing green. We're going to use the iPad lightning cable as our communication source. Once that's plugged in the cab of the tractor, we will take our iPad harness, plug it into our iPad. And before we do that, we'll show you just basic, as simple as firing up any monitor. We want to keep this simple. All you're doing, touching our Hay app, free app on the iTunes store. We plug in our communication harness, and you will see our flashing green light on the IIC module is now a solid green. Here we're in the main screen of our 300 series automatic applicator, indicated by the model 362 and our red lights here. You can show our software version as well as our serial number. But for those of you familiar with our HayBoss application systems, this is our standard monitor. You got your automatic, manual setup mode, and you can see here again we're live. When we go into manual mode, we can turn on a pump and we can start turning the pump up and down to validate that we've put on proper pressure. Another key indication that we're active with our communication module in manual mode or automatic mode, you can see a green symbol there. You unplug the communication harness, we've lost connection. We're no longer communicating to our iPad. You plug that back in. After a few seconds, you will see again we have an active connection. So we're live in the system. Very simple to use, an iPad. A lot of questions on that use of a tablet as a display, but at the end of the day, a very inexpensive tablet to utilize, and we want to use current technology. Massey 1840 baler we have set up here, kind of working on a new tank mount design. Not going to be for balers equipped with the quarter turn bale slide. Potentially we might start offering this, but you're going to have a hitch for a bale bandit, bale baron, or just a kicker wagon. So currently not in production with this style tank, but just again for display purposes. So back here on our tank, our simple pump plate comes assembled from Harvest Tec. On the pump plate, you're going to have a main control module where your power harness is coming back from tractor battery power. We're going to have our single pump. We're going to have our filter coming off the tank. And again, a very simple design. To adjust our variable rate preservative application, our pump is going to be changing speeds and working with the pulsing solenoid at the front of the baler, and that's how we're going to be applying from the low rates all the way up to potentially the 16 pounds per ton. Another feature of the preservative applicator, when you're needing to apply preservative with precision, we're going to need to know two inputs. First, obviously, we're going to need to know moisture, and that moisture, we're going to be able to sense that from our star wheels. We got dual star wheel blocks, one on each side, positioned as far forward on the baler as possible. So the star wheels act as sensing resistance. 100 readings every 3 seconds of resistance, and we're coming up with a very accurate moisture scale up to 32% moisture. In addition, we've got an end of bale sensor, so every time the baler ties the bale, we're going to, based upon our average bale moisture input into the screen, as well as the time it takes to tie that bale, we're going to give you a throughput. So we're going to give you an accurate moisture range and an accurate baling rate for you to adjust a proper application of variable rate preservative. A couple more things I'll mention to you. Again, very simple setup with compact setup with our tank design and our pump plate. Accessible for maintenance, changing out filters from ground level, very simple. But then the plumbing will come up, and difficult to see on camera, but we have our spray shield tucked up under the throat of the baler, and that's where we'll be applying the preservative on the loose windrow as it's coming into the bale. You can't apply the preservative inside the bale. It has to be distributed evenly across and as evenly as possible across the entire windrow. So between the spray shield with the spray pattern covering the entire windrow, we're going to get a very even and well-distributed application. And then again, our pulsing solenoid. Every job's a little customized differently, but our pulsing solenoid positioned here as close to the spray shield as possible will maintain pressure inside the line, so as the applicator is adjusting preservative, we have as much preservative at the front of the baler as possible. This baler is not set up, but one accessory that we do offer, plug and play, would be our crop eyes, our end of row shutoff eyes. They kind of act like garage door safety sensors. They will be positioned facing one another right here at the pickup of the baler, and as crop flow comes in, it'll unpause our system. When those crop eyes are installed and it sees no crop flow, it'll automatically pause the applicator for you. If the baler is not equipped, which again this one is not equipped with the crop eyes, if in order for the operator to avoid spraying over an empty pickup, at the end of the windrow, he would have to hit the pause button here. Very simple. Crop eyes just over $600 list price. Are again just an option to automatically or plug and play right into the applicator. A couple other simple setups on, I mentioned the baling rate. In order for the system to properly apply or properly give an accurate baling rate, we will have to put in an average bale weight, defaulted at 100 pounds per bale. That, as well as the end of bale tie cycle, will give us an accurate, in an automatic mode, it'll give us an accurate baling rate. And then as your moisture is going up and down from the star wheels reading, every 3 seconds, that'll give you an accurate moisture reading anywhere from 6 to 32% moisture. Moisture goes up above 16%. The system will give you a target rate of application anywhere from 4 to 16 pounds per ton. And then when the pump and pulsing solenoid kick on, the flow meter reading will give you an actual pounds per ton. This actual is always going to be following the target. And then you can obviously see that we're going to have a little bit of a lag time, maybe 3, 4, 5 flakes of a lag time from when we're sensing moisture to where we're putting preservative on. If an operator recognizes that he's coming up into a wet area in the field, he can always hit the override button, you hear the pump turn on, and then you can simply hit return when you know you're out of that really wet area in the windrow. Again, a very simple system to utilize. We appreciate the opportunity of you watching this video, and any additional questions you might have, feel free to reach out to Harvest Tec at 800-635-7468.